A Milwaukee rapper is highly sought after right now, not for his music, but for the crimes.
It looks like those earnings are from drug dealing.
Don't think I'm lying when I tell you that it's off white.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know who Deadend Quan is.
Welcome back to another episode of Tru-Street TV, where we cover everything street related. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and let's get right into it. Today's story brings us back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a relatively large city and one of my favorite cities to cover. As we spoke about in previous episodes, Milwaukee has a deep street culture, mainly predicated around drug dealing and making money. The man we're here to talk about today is a well-known rapper and hustler from the city, 33-year-old Quan Owens, better known by his rap name, Deadend Quan. A Milwaukee native from one of the most dangerous areas in the city, being off Burleigh, dubbed the Burleigh Jungle for how wild it gets.
After they were shot in a drive-by shooting Saturday night, this happened near the intersection of Sherman and Burleigh.
The 21-year-old man who was shot and killed in a house near 12th and Burleigh yesterday.
Police say two people started arguing around 4:30 this afternoon near 15th and Burleigh. Shots were fired.
The Dead-End Hood gets its name because almost all of the streets on their block are dead ends. They are Burleigh and Our Avenue, from 32nd through 35th Street.
Like Burleigh, Our, like,
Yeah.
it's one way. Them ways, like, over there, like, it's dead ends on there, one of my blocks, like, where I'm from, like, and it's street, it's 33rd, 34th, like, we, you know,
Yeah.
we north side as a bitch, like, right over there by the train tracks.
He would do an interview in his hood, pointing at an area on his block, saying he shot his first person right on the block.
I ain't gonna lie. Swear to God, I promise to God, nigga. I shot my first nigga. Well, I shot my second nigga, but first nigga that told him when I shot him right here. The nigga, it's crazy. It's a long story. The nigga told on me, dog.
Quan is well known in the city and was well known in the streets long before rapping, as he did jump in the rap game relatively late. Quan would describe his childhood as being raised like Kane from Menace to Society.
Shit real. I really grew up like Kane off Menace to Society.
Yeah.
For real, dog.
He would begin catching cases at a young age, and he would be charged with maintaining a drug trafficking place in 2009 at only 18 years old. He would later plead guilty to this in March of 2010, receiving 18 months of probation. Quan will go right back to the streets, not complying with the probation conditions, and within 3 months, Quan will be sent to serve 60 days in jail for violations and would eventually get revoked. Quan and two other men named Christopher Jones and Eugene Woods would travel back and forth from Milwaukee to Eau Claire as they were selling weed out of a house out there. The owner of the house would claim he tried to kick the men out, but they wouldn't leave and locked him out. Quan would eventually get out of this case, getting the trafficking charges dismissed and pleading guilty to criminal trespassing. Shortly after this, Quan would also be charged with possession with intent to sell cocaine in October of 2013, and Milwaukee County Jail has very strict bond release conditions. Compared to a smaller city where you might just receive the rules on a piece of paper of your bond, but in Milwaukee you have to report to Justice Point, oftentimes being placed on house arrest and having to take drug tests. Quan wouldn't comply with house arrest and would skip court the next year in 2014. He would be on the run for around 3 months before being caught and sentenced to a year in jail. Quan had caught a few cases at this point, which is common. If you play the streets long enough, you will eventually get caught, and some people may have changed their hustle after these few jail stints, but Quan was already knee-deep in the streets and well known in the city. It is hard to go from making thousands of dollars per week to, let's say, $20 an hour at Amazon, so I do understand why street hustlers often struggle with finding a new way. You also have to take into account of what city he's from. It's a city that popularizes and glorifies drug dealing more than any city I've ever came across.
I got plenty fire eddies coming down.
So many hands on his phone, I forgot ring.
I just caught a head on the way to another head.
Similar to the kids in Chicago who are quick to pick up a gun and join the gang, except in some parts of Milwaukee, the cool thing to do is pick up some drugs and sell it, which is kind of better than drilling in my opinion, but they are both detrimental to the black community. And one Milwaukee rapper who I think paints the best picture of this life that I'm explaining in his raps is Lil Trey. For example, go listen to the song Man of the House.
Wild too, he got a dub, yeah, they sat him down. And then his mama made him man of the house.
To give you an idea of why somebody would keep going to jail for the same thing and keep continuing to do the same thing once released. Quan will get out of jail sometime in 2015 and go right back to hustling. Milwaukee is well known for high-speed chases, as a successful escape will literally change your life. And the idea of just pulling over and letting the police decide if they're going to search the car and give you multiple felonies, a lot of Milwaukee hustlers don't decide to give the police that option.
Early morning backed up, you know I can't miss him. A life sentence in his car, so I'm for sure tipping.
Quan would do just this not long after getting out. As police attempted to stop him on October 21st, 2016, Quan would take them on a high-speed chase and eventually get caught and arrested. High speed was tossed, but he did plead guilty to battery of law enforcement and driving a stolen car. Quan would be sentenced to 18 months in prison for this, being sentenced in May of 2017. While Quan was in prison, many Milwaukee rappers were going crazy, and we covered many of them, so go check the Milwaukee playlist if you're new here. Anyways, Quan will begin writing raps himself while serving his time and will begin getting better and better at rapping. He also had guys from his Deadend hood that began rapping as well, like Fat Pooh. Quan will later be released in 2021, and I'm guessing he was on probation and was revoked, leaving him to serve the 18 months consecutive to his revocation time. He will begin dropping music late 2022, releasing Neighbors Think I'm Hot in December. This song has almost 100,000 views. The streets would embrace Quan's style, rapping predominantly about hustling.
You the least type, I can tell in your eyes you the cheap type. You can't press it at the house, so with your feet like.
His deep voice, along with his gritty, in-depth street hustling lyrics, were automatically loved by the streets. The authenticity makes the music hit, especially the other local hustlers.
So good, ooh good, everything up top, nigga. Hell yeah, we got that shit really dropped.
He will continue dropping in 2023, releasing his first mixtape months later on April 23rd, 2023, calling it Deadend, baby. Quan is very well known and tapped in throughout the city. He will get many features on this project, including from SME Tax Free, Juicer, Joe Pablo, Fefe, Ghost, and many more.
And that's with no sweat, can't forget no press. Back will seal it tight and I step on it, that's a both legs.
He will gain plenty local traction in the city and wouldn't waste time releasing a second project, calling it 3207, referring to the house he lived in on his Deadend block 3207 Hour Avenue. He released a video to the first song on the tape called It's Just Me, and this video has around 70,000 views on YouTube.
I'm shooting to these pops, it's just me, ay. Dumping all these drop, it's just me, ay.
He would then go on to release a collab tape with Juicer called Jackie Chan, released on October 2nd, with one of the best songs being Kurt Angle. The video sits at well over 100,000 views.
Give you my brother without no money. Still serve our heights with a nose running. You know that.
And 8 days after releasing this tape, Quan will collab with Chicken on a song called Black and Knees.
40 a gram, why they can't stop calling G.
I bust a brick 40 a gram, the phone won't stop ringing.
This was his biggest song up to this point, and it has well over 400,000 views. He would follow this up with one of the best underground songs to come out of the mill in 2023, releasing That One Kind along with Fefe, Juice, Ghost, Joe Pablo, and Funny Money. This song has over 800,000 views.
We land up with no hoes, ain't got time to do it now. Straight drop this dog a 10, bitch, I'm a connoisseur.
He would go sit down with DJ Jerry shortly after this song released in November, doing his first interview that I was able to find. And just months later, Quan would again find himself in trouble with the law, as on January 10, 2024, he was in Milwaukee riding in his 4Runner when police attempted to stop him. Quan would quickly take off from the police and end up crashing into a tree on 36 and Stark, located just minutes away from his hood. Quan would be arrested for this, and police would find 8 cell phones, scales, $12,000, as well as 2 zips of boy that tested positive for fentanyl. And they also found some cocaine in the car. Quan would be held on a $15,000 bond and would quickly post it and be released a week later. Right as he got out of jail, he released a song alongside IMB Cave called Rotation. This is a dope song.
Pick your standard and that bitch come fold it up. Hey, Draco, it got kickback, it might fuck your shoulder up.
Within a month of being out, Quan will stop reporting to Justice Point and not go to court. His $15K was forfeited and a warrant will quickly be issued for his arrest on February 15th. Meanwhile, he released his 4th tape on January 30th, calling it Take Notes. Chicken Pete would appear on the song Locked In. Big C and Ghost would also feature on this project. Quan also collabed with multiple artists, including Chicken, Joe Pablo, and others on the song Room 914, and this song has over 600,000 views.
Why your eyes come on T with me, you ain't gon' blow it. Hey, ballin' like T Owens and you steady out here owing.
2 months would pass and MPD would realize they couldn't find Quan and would add him to Wisconsin's Most Wanted, putting his wanted poster out there, and Fox 6 would run this story in April.
This Milwaukee rapper flaunts a lifestyle on his YouTube channel. U.S. Marshals say is no act.
Unfortunately, it looks like those earnings are from drug dealing.
In the industry, he goes by Deadend Quan, but investigators know him by his legal name.
The fugitive we're looking for is Quan Owens.
Despite being hot, Quan was still in the city rapping and dropping music, as he released another tape on April 11th called What They Talking About. The biggest song on this project is called The One Not The Two, which he posted the video for in May while on the run.
36 is all white, that's a bricky shit. I'm pulling shit, dumping all night in this chicken coop.
He also dropped another tape in May called Diamond in the Rough, and rumors would quickly begin spreading on social media that Quan was the police around this time, saying that he told on Fat Pooh and others from his area, but I wasn't able to actually find proof of this. And crazy enough, his man's Fat Pooh also made Wisconsin's Most Wanted as well a few years back for shooting into a vehicle.
A YouTube rapper, he goes by the name of Fat Pooh.
But now U.S. Marshals say 31-year-old Kevin Tenner of Milwaukee is wanted for first-degree reckless injury.
Tax-Free would get asked about Quan and would say that he was still cool with him, seemingly not buying the rumors.
Hey, I ain't never calling him no snitch or nothing. Like, I ain't putting no label on him, but he understand the guidelines, the boundaries. Like, okay, I know I got this going on, so I know, like, right now ain't really a good time for to fuck with nobody. I'ma clear this shit up, and then I'ma, you know what I'm saying?
But meanwhile, throughout all the rumors, Quan went black on social media, deleting everything, but he was still dropping music. And Milwaukee rapper Manny Fresh would release a song called Dead Wrong, where he would diss Quan, saying that he was dead wrong for snitching.
Then bust that movie, you know he dead wrong. I never tell, nigga, we got bricks for sale.
Shit came out, it was left field, nigga, cause that's where my little guy fool. Like, in the video 3207, my FaceTime, I was talking about little bro, like, what the fuck, nigga, if you ask the dog today, nigga, where that shit come from? On my kids, nigga, if you ask him, like, why you say this about, like, come on, man, be real. Nigga, you don't even know why you said that.
Quan would even go as far as to do an interview with Juice Talk TV, where he spoke on the snitching allegations. He also spoke on Tax-Free not kicking him while he was down, which I also respect.
Only one motherfucker in that situation who a nigga shouldn't been dealing with, like, so. And I can admit, but ain't no narc shit going on with me. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't none of that going on with me. Like, but I respect, you know, Tax for that, dog.
Milwaukee Hood News will post a picture of a criminal complaint saying that Quan was snitching, but he didn't post any actual information or statements. In August, Quan dropped another tape calling it Deadend Baby 2, released on August 7th. Chicken appears on this tape 4 times, along with many other notable Milwaukee rappers. And the next month in September, Quan will be back in trouble as Milwaukee police attempted to pull him over once again. He would obviously flee at high speeds before being caught and arrested. He would be placed on 2 separate $25,000 bonds and is still sitting in jail today and is facing many years in prison for his cases. But let's just remember, Quan is innocent until proven guilty, and we can't put snitch jackets on people without proof. Though I do know personally instances where people snitched and was able to hide from it. I hope once released, Quan can put all his business expertise into something legal. If you enjoy this kind of content, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Really shit ain't rough, I don't write shit. Soon as that shit came out, you niggas started and ain't see it. I know it started and ain't read it. Damn, started shit, I see it. Ain't got no bounds for the niggas when my doggy now see it. Free my niggas locked, ones that kept the solid shit, I mean it. Rap about the life, they know if I saw it or I seen it. I respect a lot of shit you niggas do it, shit, I respect that shit. Nigga, you don't be talking about no shit if you ain't seen shit.